Hey everybody, this is TJR.
This is Superfan.
Hanging out with our little guy here.
He's naked.
He's getting ready to go surfing.
Oh.
Everybody's learning how, you know. Well, yeah, he's got his trunks on, see? But he's just hanging out with Bowie and the Diamond Dogs. And so, not long ago, Superfan and I talked about the Beach Boys documentary entitled simply The Beach Boys on Disney Plus, the new documentary that was released. And, you know, we were both felt pretty positive about it. Although I did question a few things like, why did they not really talk at all about, you know, about Dennis Wilson and Carl Wilson, about their deaths? I mean,
they did,
but it was so brief. It was just really quick. And I thought to myself, well, you know, maybe they just didn't want to. Maybe it's too painful. And I could understand that, you know. And maybe the feeling is, hey, you know, we all know it happened. Let's not get into that right now. And I thought maybe that
I could see Brian Wilson's participation being contingent on the fact that they didn't make too big of a deal of it.
Yeah, they might have all felt that way. You never know. I could see that's a possibility, but they might have all felt that way. A lot of, you know. But at any rate, though, pardon the noise. We got the door open here. But you know, after we posted the video, but we were mostly positive about the film, and after we posted the video, we did get a lot of comments from people who were also upset. They felt like that was glossed over. They felt that the 70s period wasn't covered enough, and I'll admit it wasn't covered a lot, but I was at least pleased that they talked to, you know, Ricky Fattar and Blondie Chaplin, that they talked to them, you know, a bit and interviewed them, because I generally didn't see them in interviews. But a lot of people mentioned the documentary that we're going to talk about right now, which is called Endless Harmony.
Yeah.
Which you and I had never seen.
No.
And we'll be honest, we'd never heard of it until a lot of people started mentioning it in the comments. And so we looked it up and saw that it was on YouTube. And we noticed it's actually a shorter film than this, you know, documentary that was on Disney Plus. And we watched it, and I can kind of get now why a lot of people were very disappointed. There were things, of course, covered in the new documentary that weren't covered in this one, like Murray Wilson selling all their songs.
Yeah, they didn't really touch on that.
Didn't touch on it at all, period. Murray Wilson was discussed, the fact that he was overbearing and all of that, but, you know, there were aspects to that newer documentary that weren't in this one. Yet this one managed to cover the classic period, the classic 60s period, like the new one did. But Endless Harmony also managed to give more emphasis on the 70s period. More individual attention to each one of those albums. What was going on? Where was everybody's headspace? What was Brian Wilson doing? How involved was he, or was he not involved? And there was a good, I would say was a good solid coverage of that.
Yeah.
And then how, of course, just like the new one, how Capitol Records released the Endless Summer compilation, and it kind of gave a rebirth to their classic period.
Rejuvenated.
Yeah, rejuvenated all that. And, you know, I mean, their careers hadn't gone away. They were still doing this, but it kind of brought them back to their roots again with that album coming out, and the popularity of it too. And this one did talk about Brian's relationship with Dr. Landry, if I say his name right, and that whole toxic relationship, which we knew existed.
Yeah, it was a rough period.
Yeah, we knew that existed. And I did wonder, well, why did they not talk about that? While this did talk more about Dennis Wilson and what happened to him, of course, it doesn't mention his solo album, but it does have more footage of him performing.
Well, it doesn't mention anybody's solo album.
Well, it does mention Brian Wilson's, one of Brian Wilson's solo albums.
That was what was being promoted. That was out at the time that this documentary came out in 1998. That was coming out, and that was part of the reason that they were promoting this album. I think that's how they got it.
You think? Oh, who knows? You may have a point there. Maybe that was a contingency, that had to be talked about for Brian Wilson's participation. Who knows? I don't know. They only briefly talk about Carl Wilson's passing. They just say he passed away in 1998. I think that was the year they gave us. But they don't discuss the how and the why or anything. We don't get too much reaction about it, but then I get the feeling it was still very fresh and recent at the time the documentary was being made. In fact, I'm guessing maybe it could have happened even
during the making of
it. Yeah. So there's not a lot of reaction to that. There is a fair amount of reaction about Dennis Wilson's passing. People, the different members saying, how it affected them, that sort of thing, and even interviews with his ex-wife about it.
And his addictions.
And his addictions, all of that.
His problems.
But I get now why so many people commented on our video and said they were disappointed. And they all pointed to this documentary. And I'm glad to everybody that did, because we would not have seen it if you hadn't. And now that we've seen it, we understand. I still think the new film is good too. I think they're good companion pieces to each other.
Definitely.
Even
though you see a lot of the footage.
You see a lot of the same footage in each, yeah. Yeah, you sure do. You are saying roughly 50% probably, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I would probably say that's a good guess. But still, I think they're both good films. But I would be just as inclined to show this to a newbie as I would be, and I don't consider myself like a giant Beach Boys fan. Like I said before in the last video, I went from completely, as a teenager, completely disregarding them to really appreciating, what Brian Wilson did and what the other Beach Boys did, and everything they brought to the table.
There is something, they deserve the longevity that they had.
Yeah.
And they do. It is a concert that multi-generational concert.
Yeah, that people can enjoy. They can enjoy. Yeah, I agree. But at any rate, though, we just wanted to come back, talk about this kind of as a follow-up to the first video, and talk about this film, and basically say thank you, everybody that recommended we see it. We do appreciate it very much.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And what do you think, little guy?
He says hurry up. He wants to go surfing.
He wants to go surfing, yeah. Everybody's learning how. Go catch a wave or go catch something, buddy. And,
no diseases, please.
Yeah. Well, there's something he could catch that I would like to catch. Anyways, though, we'll wait till the camera's off. But thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like these videos, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video. And thank you, patron supporters, for all that you do.
You are fierce and mighty.
Patron supporters do receive exclusive weekly videos not available on this channel. And of course, if you can't be a patron supporter, you can always just leave a one-time super thanks on any video that gets posted here. Thank you, everybody that has. And if you can't do that, that's fine. Just click like. That helps a great deal. And we'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.